Hello everyone and welcome to KULT Vita X Pulvis, episode 3. Sorry, I feel like I may have accidentally interrupted there.
Oh, you're good. I'm so sorry I interrupted. That's me, my bad.
Oh, but thank you so much everyone for being here and for joining us this evening. We're gonna do a usual quick go around and let you know who we are and who we're playing this evening and all of that wonderful jazz. And we'll start off with the ever enigmatic Noir Enigma. Enigmatic Noir Enigma. There you go. That goes well, right?
Yeah.
And an enigmatic enigma.
Okay, so I didn't know I was going first, so I straight up panicked. I'm sorry. Hi, everybody. I'm Noir. Hi, I'm Noir. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch as Noir. I'm playing Gunther McHammer, a detective who's trying to crack a case with this cat, Watson. So that's what's up. That's me.
Sorry, I was gonna. We are back, Zihachu. If you don't see like break time highlights up on the screen, it's live. we put a nice big clear sign. So if you're ever worried and concerned about that, look for the words that say break time highlights. Otherwise, yeah, we're here. We're here. We're live. We're responding. We're happy to have you here. But Derek, what are you doing here? What are you playing?
Oh, I don't know what I'm doing here.
He just shows up every week.
Yeah. I'm playing Norman Baxter, the kind of like vlogger, paranormal vlogger, who his goal is getting to know more about the other sides, and also in the side of getting more viewers and popularities. That's pretty much it.
And then Panita, it's lovely to have you, Anita.
I'm Anita, or Panita. Tonight I will be playing the role of Tempest, a artist, kind of half bodyguard to the person right above me.
Who is played by the lovely Is the Riddler, D.
Oh, good evening, all. Hi, I'm Dee, or Duvel, or Riddler, whatever you'd like to call me. And tonight I'll be playing Kara Johnson, who is so disenfranchised with everything around her.
Oh, everything is such a bore now. Oh my goodness. The only person who can help keep us entertained would be Ben.
Hello, everybody. I am Ben. I am they call him Ben in Twitch chat when I make inappropriate jokes. Was I muted?
No. Was I muted? Nope, not at all. Perfectly. But yes, and my name is MadameGandalf, and I play Addison Grace, the protege, student, mentee of Norman Baxter, who just wants to help after her university degree to get some sort of experience in film work. and so is working as his assistant camera person on this current endeavor. But without further ado, I believe we are ready.
So, good evening. They call me Ben, and I will be your games master tonight. Our protagonists have entered into the service of Gamichikoth, one of the masters of the realm of Inferno. They've only just begun to comprehend the worlds that exist beyond the illusion in which humanity is imprisoned. And already they've been thrust into a conflict with powers they do not understand. They had little choice about the pact into which they entered, and they are all tied to the cult their patron would have them investigate, suggesting their participation in these events might have been decided upon long ago. But whatever the case, here we are. Their pasts all link them to the sign of the Bloody Hand. This is the same symbol sent to them in a message with the words, "Find them." It is also the symbol of the Neo-Stoical Movement for New Identity, a new religious movement founded by the Madigan siblings in the 1970s. They've researched that the Neo-Stoicals' British office is in North London, in the district of Tottenham, and we rejoin them as they are drawn inevitably back together, having had their first mind-warping glimpse of the truth. So, I will say that we rejoin our characters just as they've got back in contact with one another, because they've all received the same communication which was sent to them all by email, and so they have the kind of link between them all. So, to facilitate matters, you've just all got back in contact with one another, and we shall start as you discuss what you guys are going to do next. So you're all at your various pads or haunts or hideaways in the city. I think Kara and Tempest, we left them in Kara's flat, which is a sort of hub for the drug-addled artistic community, at which Kara is the heart. Gunter was in his short-term rented flat with his cat. And I think we left Addison and Norman in a coffee shop, I believe. As they were doing a bit of sleuthing around on the net. So that's where you guys are physically, and you've all just been put back in contact with each other by this message.
Okay, so we're still at our places.
Yeah. And there could be a bit of a time slip. You can be elsewhere, at your flat, whatever. That's just where we left you last. So we can pick you up there if that's easy.
Ooh. I think we need to contact the others.
See if they maybe got the same message.
Yeah, and to tell them that if they find the same message, we have a clue of where to look at first.
Right.
Do you get like the phone of that girl? What was the name? Tempest, I believe.
Oh, Tempest and Kara. I know I definitely...
You have their email addresses because this same message has been sent to all of you. So
And
even if you don't have that...
their phone number into...
Yes, I think Tempest did, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
We have their number, and I'm sure we can easily contact them from the CC on this email.
Let's go through the phone. I'm not trusting like the sender of that email, and I don't want them to track us.
Fair enough. I'll give him a call.
I think Addison has some of those little phone charms dangling off her phone. And a pop socket.
Who calls anymore?
I don't know. Why do you have the ringer on your phone?
Oh, God.
That's a better question.
Hello?
Hi, Tempest. It's Addison. Addison Grease from earlier this afternoon with all of the terrifying things happening at the art gallery.
Yeah. Yep.
This
is Tempest. Go for Tempest.
Did y'all get that strange email?
Sure did. And also, I'm kind of painting that sign.
You're kind of already painting that sign.
Yeah, I sat down to paint, and well, I've got 5 or 6 canvases, and all of them have that sign.
Addison's made sure to have herself out on speaker for...
Let me text you the address.
Sounds good, and maybe we can try and find somebody else who might know something.
Tempest is already hung up and is texting.
They're gone.
Did you have the number of that detective guy, or your heroes of the show?
Oh, Gunther. Gunther, right?
Yeah. Did he give us his number? He kind of left quite early, so.
If you want to have shared numbers earlier, that's fine. You were
leave his card for everybody.
Yes, he did, didn't he?
Okay, I think according to this card. Okay, I think their number.
Kara will text, as soon as she hears Addison on the phone, Kara will text Gunther and say, sorry to interrupt the brooding. Did you get a weird email? And then, after not receiving...
Wait, no. Where's backspace? Where's delete? Shit. Delete all in. Fuck. Oh, the arrow. Back. Why? He's hitting it way too hard. S. Send.
It's the hunt and peck method, I've heard it called.
On the other side of that, Kara is watching the speech bubble and typing in a novel. And then she gets back yes and goes,
yes and Q.
all right. And Kara will frown because she doesn't do phone calls. Bookish girl, Addison. Perhaps you could take that card and call Mr. Mick Hammer, and we could meet up somewhere.
I'll go hide some stashes if we were gonna meet here.
We're not bringing a police officer to where I live, Tempest. That'd be ridiculous. How about that coffee shop down the street with the paninis?
Yeah, that place nice.
It looks like they want to meet up at the coffee place with the paninis. Is that where we are?
There are so many coffee shops, it's going to be a different one. I don't think Kara would hang around the same kind of coffee shops that Norman would hang around. It's not nearly... Too many people know it exists. It has to be really cool and exclusive.
All right, let me search this. I'm going to Google it, okay? I'm going to search coffee shop paninis. Kara.
It's got really uncomfortable chairs.
Paninis.
Oh yeah, they're high art.
Yeah.
You don't know what's a chair and what's an art installation.
And all
if it looks like a chair, it's an art installation.
Yep, don't sit on it. It's all mismatched and reclaimed. So, if you wish, we can gather at this achingly cool, really expensive coffee place that Kara knows. And perhaps there are some quite conflicting emotions as you see each other again, because the last time you were together, it was at the end of probably the most stressful experience you've ever had.
So arriving kind of at the front door, looking at the menu of the price list and everything, it was Jesus Christ, Hattie, it was sandwich are $10 or what is this?
Norman, can you please roll? Can you please roll 2d10?
Yep. Do I additionate? Or...
Don't add anything to this, no. This is plus 0 roll.
So total 7.
7, okay. So, as you look at the price list pasted onto the inside of the window, you notice there is an unkempt young Caucasian man in his 20s who's watching you from across the street. And it looks like he's watching you and then occasionally glancing down to make notes on his phone. You don't recognize this person.
Okay. I hope they don't want to pay us like for getting in. Like I bet like it's that kind of like cafe where just getting an entry places like those like.
It might just be that we
bars.
need to at least get a coffee.
How the coffee would cost?
Here, don't worry. It'll be on me.
No, but I guess I can pay for my own coffee, but like.
Well,
When?
when it comes
Well,
to
it's
these...
one time. It's only one time. All
I'll
right.
say at this point, let's have Kara and Tempest arrive and spot you as they round the corner.
I mean,
Kara walks in wearing just a hot pink blazer with no sleeves. Her signature sunglasses and a small, slightly tilted black fedora with a white stripe. And she's wearing a blonde bob wig that like reaches down to the lengths of her shoulder, very dangly earrings, pointlessly high stilettos to be at a cafe. And she walks in and goes, "Geraldine, darling," calling for the barmaid, barista. That's the word.
It's Jenny.
Close enough.
Hello, Kara.
You still have my tab open? Yes.
The manager said yes, of course, it's fine. Come in.
All right. Well, it's going to be me, Tempest. You remember Tempest?
Yes, of course.
And then that mousy girl over there, that old man over there, and there'll be another older gentleman joining us as well.
Tempest is wearing a pair of overalls with the legs cropped way too short and like just a crop top underneath.
Yeah.
Like completely dressed inappropriately for the weather.
And let's say as you go in, Norman, you notice this chap across the road definitely watches you as you go in and definitely takes a note of you entering. Looks like he's clocking the people you're with and continues making notes. And at this point, Gunther, who was a bit late because Watson was demanding to be fed, approaches this awful-looking cafe.
Yeah, I'm coming in eating a croissant sandwich that I got from a Dunkin' Donuts on the way.
From a Greg's, like our rough equivalent would be.
Yeah, there we go. And I already have a cup of black coffee. Got a black trench coat, collar pop, fedora, glasses. I look like a neighborhood watch sign. And somehow my shirt is different, but I still have a mustard stain on it. Almost to the exact same spot, which is impressive because this breakfast sandwich does not have mustard. So I'm killing the game, doing good, doing the Lord's work. And I just kind of walk in and just,
Another detective?
Oh, is that a bacon buddy? I want a buddy.
I mean, we're at a cafe place.
I know.
Just-
But I could just use this bacon and bread.
It isn't even just bacon, it's freaking pancetta. No wonder everything's expensive on this menu.
Right?
They take the
That
most
would've been a
basic of
great idea.
meals and makes it the most elaborate it can be.
Also,
Wait
all
till
their
you find the
sandwiches
deconstructed things.
all their sandwiches are deconstructed, and you have to put it together yourself. They give it to you on like a roofing slate, and you have to assemble all the ingredients.
I've heard about this place. It's intolerable, so I just got like spit.
That's why she likes it.
It's intolerable. yeah, it is.
It's because Kara knows that everyone else is too embarrassed to say this place is rubbish and awful.
place sucks.
And
Empress does it.
she likes knowing that she's brought them in and has enough power to make them stay
Make
in
them
this.
stay.
Listen.
Gunther is gung-ho about the fact that this place sucks and that his sandwich is better.
This country runs on Greg's, dude. So, we have gathered, and we are aware that we have all had, as well as this extraordinary experience, we've all just had the same message. The symbol of this bloody hand and the message, find them.
So, we got some clues by, looking through the internet and passing by my colleagues and contacts, and apparently it's come from those people in the north side of London.
Yep. So the Neo-Stoical Movement for New Identity is the rather unwieldy full name, or the Neo-Stoicals, which is use the term new religious movement, which came about in the kind of 70s, 80s onwards, which includes all the various New Age New Age religions, which don't really have much basis in the old established ones. So Scientology would be probably the most publicly known example for us.
So does any one of you know those people?
Sure don't.
I mean, I could get to know them, but you only take a case if it checks one or two boxes, and that's if it pays or if it doesn't go away.
Well, I think we're already paying with our eternal souls. That's the correct term, right?
Yeah, I think we have already been paid, and we need to do the job now.
Yeah.
I'm going to be very disappointed to find out that I've been soulless ever since my mother called me that. So it's been about a good 20 years or so since I had one.
There.
So look, we've got a full encyclopedia of all the world's magic stuff. So I was wondering if I might be able to borrow that, get to read and see if I can figure out exactly what we got ourselves into.
Okay, so what you have is several volumes, and given what the spirit of the late Gustav Hawthorne said, these are volumes bound in human skin and bone.
Yeah, they're real gross.
Yeah, they are. I can't remember the words. Anthro something. They are anthropogenic. But yes, you have volumes of The Dawn Unending, which is a occult encyclopedia. Half of it is a very, very impenetrable occult text, which describes some of the concepts you've come across already, like the various different worlds and that you can move between them, and that our world is just an illusionary veneer over the truth. And then this very strange prophetic passage, which goes from its at the mid to late 18th century when it was written, all the way up to an indeterminate future. It describes what appears to be a nuclear war devastating the world in the first third of the 21st century, and the subsequent rise of a single world leader, after which the text ends mid-sentence. The main thing you glean from this is that the writer was absolutely bonkers, but might possibly have had some insight into the glimpses of reality you've so far had. It's not of any practical use. Also, it's extremely long, so you haven't been able to have a really good actual read through the whole thing. So that's what you've gleaned from The Dawn Unending.
Would I, with my parasocial relationships through various social media platforms, would I have ever heard of the organization? What was it called? The
Neo-Stoicals. We can make an investigation roll to see how well you're able to sort of leverage the various people you know. So roll 2d10 plus your reason, and we'll see what you come up with.
That is what I will do as soon as I find my character sheet, which I should already have open. Okay. We're doing reason, plus reason, which is... Okay, so plus jack shit. Dope. Let's roll these two. Just a flat roll, but that is a 15.
Okay, so you're able to ask, you can ask a couple of things about the Neo-Stoicals from the various people that you know. It started in California, and you have plenty of people who are plugged into weird California circles. So you get to ask a couple of questions.
Would I be able to, is this like someone has confirmed through a message like, oh, I know about them, and could I like crowdsource these questions, or is it kind of a in the moment thing?
You can. I'll say this is a combination of stuff you happen to have heard from people you know, and you can sort of send out a couple of feelers while you chaps are chatting.
Okay.
So it can be a combination of those.
I would like to know if they have a leader.
Okay. There isn't a head as such, like a Jim Jones at the head. However, it was founded by siblings, David and Marcia Madigan. As far as you know, they're still alive, so they're quite likely to be leaders if they're still around. Although no one's quite sure where they are. So you can ask another thing.
How widespread are the Neo-Stoicals?
They have a number of national branches. They don't make much noise, so no one's quite sure about total membership. But they seem to be at very least a going concern. So an organization which is recruiting people, has enough money to keep a few different branches open, seems to be consistently recruiting. You can't get exact numbers, but it's fairly substantial. It's not just like a single small group.
Okay.
Come back with anything, Care Bear?
I will sort of bite into a panini and go, oh god, why do we come here? Yes, several things actually. I'm sorry, Ben, could I get those names one more time?
Yes, it's David and Marcia Madigan.
Marcia, I had Marcia.
Yep,
Okay.
they are siblings. And they founded it in California in the 1970s.
All right. Well, I know that they were founded in the 1970s somewhere in California by David and Marcia, siblings apparently. They don't have a technical leader, as it were, so no Jonestown Kool-Aid, unfortunately, unless we're in for a pleasant treat. They appear, the numbers are a bit ambiguous, but they're large enough to be a concern in several places.
And there is specifically their British office is the Tottenham office in North London.
Gotcha.
I mean, we can always just fake our way in if you want.
Fake our way in?
High-profile people looking to join us, some sort of inner circle religion. Maybe you found a little bit of faith. I don't know. Just spitballing here.
Fake our way into a cult.
Can you think of a better idea?
Kara smiles at Tempest. I think that is a splendid idea.
All your best ideas came from me. That's what you keep saying.
It's true. That's why I keep you around. Yes, except for your idea to come to this dreadful cafe.
Well, that was yours.
I don't think that's true. Norman, right? Norman?
Yep.
So I hear that you do a bit of paranormal investigating.
Yeah, this is my money making.
Yes. Do you have any inconspicuous mics that we could wear if we were to enter into their British office?
Well, I think we have a couple of spare one that we use to put on like actual journalists and stuff like that, but they're not like quite useful for like taking like any ghost stuff. So I think we need to get to our like places quickly just to grab them and see what we can do.
You'll have some
We might have some
recording
labs.
devices or mics which are small enough to kind of conceal in like a pocket or a bag or something. That's a reasonable thing for you to have, yeah.
Yeah.
And like wireless transmitters, so you don't have wires all over the place. That's cool.
I think we have a couple of labs that you can use.
Oh, you have some.
Yeah, I mean, I have like a couple that I gathered over my time, but like you said, they're mostly used for interviews, so if you move too much, it might not be usable, but it's something.
Oh, there you have.
Wonderful. Kara will roll her shirt up to her neck and just tell her to clip it to like the front of her bra clasp so that it's just below the neckline. That's probably the best vocal quality that we're going to be able to get with it being somewhat hidden.
Gunther's just watching this whole time with like kind of a smirk on his face.
I mean, we could also just ask the cop to try and get us some surveillance equipment.
Well, I believe that Mr. McHammer is probably out of his jurisdiction. I think he's an ex
A little bit.
cop as well. You would know something about how to do the kind of putting a wire on someone. And you'll probably done a bit of that in your time.
Right now, his thought process is our plan of attack so far is to walk in the front door of a cult that we knows about us with a wire.
And Kara's going to...
Listen, I'm gonna say that I have a -2 in reason. Smart idea. It was an idea.
It's not the first time we did this. We kind of did this once or twice just to get closer to like more religious side to see if there was like stuff happening. It just like as long as you're not staying too long, they just don't notice much.
He's not against posturing as somebody else to get us in.
I understood. I'll gladly see this through. It's most of the time in my investigations, I usually try and find somebody that has a grudge against my target. Getting information around the organization rather than from the organization first. It's a bit of a place that I'd like to start. The thing with cults is somebody's always trying to leave. And if they've had a first-hand account of what's inside, it's a safer way to get a bit of information on what's inside rather than just jumping in.
And Kara will sort of cast a glance over to Gunter and say, "Do you know a lot about safe investigations, Detective?" That's not the impression I got.
Like I said, I'd be more than happy to see you jump into the shark's teeth.
Wonderful.
And also, during your initial sort of looking into these people, you haven't found testimony from people who have left. That might just be because there aren't many, or there isn't a lot of dirt to spill. But it is true that yes, if you want to get an insight into what a new religious movement does, the best place to start is someone who left. They don't tend to have a great time because the cult in question doesn't like them blabbing, and they're quite notorious about harassing them and using all legal and illegal methods they have. But you haven't found testimony from people who've left the Neo-Stoicals. That's something that isn't floating around out there.
Besides, you and Norman will need something to do while I'm taking point with Addison. Take Tempest with you. See what you can investigate.
You can see
So
that
you
Addison
want
is
to-
looking a little excited at the idea of like, oh gosh, I get to work with like the Kara Johnson. The...
This is
Payback
like Norman's kind of like
worst
eye-siding at Addison. Is like, you're not like going to get excited.
We're gonna crack some skulls. I'm into cracking
Gunther
some
thinks
skulls.
this whole thing is insane. He's like, you're going without any backup, Kara?
I'm going with plenty of backup. Addison. Look at this strapping young lass.
I mean,
To defend
normally
me
that's
against the
me,
worst
but
of them. Well, everyone knows that you're hot though, Tempest. No need to flex. Relax.
Literally
Share
flex.
the
Addison is going to turn to Norman and grin sheepishly, like over all of this. Like, I think we can help.
Yeah, definitely. We need to go through that too.
You're all going to get killed.
well, probably.
Everyone has to die at some point.
I mean, we can always try to do his suggestion first. Try to find someone who's leaving the cult.
From what I looked into, I didn't see many testimonies of people leaving, which is either... I suppose it's a sign either way, huh? They're either not letting people leave or no one wants to leave, which is two separate questions, but they have the same answer.
Or, yeah,
I think we maybe
there's
can
also that.
find plans of the place where they're leading you. So
It's
we
possible.
Yeah, we
can
can.
like
do a
an
little more.
entry in case you need a backup.
I mean, we could also wait till someone walks out the front door, then corner them and crack some skulls until we get some answers.
But the thing is, like, they always either shut up like a oyster, or like they just say whatever you want, even if it's not true.
I mean, not to mention that that's highly illegal.
True.
I didn't get the impression that you really cared one way or the other.
I do care about the law.
Cool.
So you get in.
Here, do you know what information that you're looking for when you go in there?
Well, I was hoping to get a bit more information on what the day-to-day looks like. I plan on posing as a hopeful, as it were, someone who's lost in the wind and yada yada, all that shit that they used to say to me when I went to church every Easter Sunday. And try and get more information on exactly the preliminaries. I doubt that I'll crack any case while I'm inside, but it'll give us more to work on than they were founded in California and they have a place here in London.
The thing is, they won't probably show you those in deep stuff straight away.
Sure.
So we need like a backup team on the side to actually investigate into like those deeper part where you just like keep them busy.
I have a suggestion if you're willing to listen.
Of course.
The key to any and every investigation is money. Find out where they're getting their money and we can track it down. If they
Maybe I can
ask
be a
you for
potential-
anything, they ask you for anything, give it to them.
Interesting. I could be a potential benefactor. It's actually quite a creative angle. Well, I can't go dressed like this if I'm meant to show off money.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that's our plan. We go in and the fanciest people we can get the... I'm writing this all down. Hang on, let me find somewhere to write it down. Notebook.
I believe the idea is we leave Norman and Gunter to investigate the more well-hidden pieces of their organization that they won't reveal to just anyone who walks through the front door, while you and I get the face of the organization, see what they want to present to the public, and they work more on what they're trying to hide from the public.
Got you.
What about me?
I
You
would
said
like to borrow
Gunther
Tempest.
and Norman, and then you said you and Addison. But what about me?
Well, if they're trying to uncover secrets, then I believe a strapping young person like yourself would be well addition to their security detail.
Okay, I can help you out with that.
I would like to be around the area listening while this is happening in case they do grab you.
Well, we can do the investigation then, while you just look after them.
I mean, do we want to be like in a surveillance van across the street with a parabolic microphone? What are we talking here?
I mean, you can ask that guy.
I mean,
I
This
could
is
give you
like
the
one-
receivers of the lavaliers. I could give you the receivers of the lavalier mics. You can listen in on what we're hearing, and if you hear any trouble, you can jump in. Besides, for someone who's not afraid of breaking the law, you have a very strange amount of weaponry on you in these parts.
he just covers up his coat. Covers up
Yeah.
the handle.
That's what I'm saying.
Has Gunter, is he packing heat?
Yes, Gunther is packing heat.
Okay, so I think that he can. It's difficult to. You can't pick and choose which weapons you get in London. You just have to make do with whatever's available illegally. So it's going to be a pretty basic handgun.
Okay.
You'll have a revolver, and it's not going to be it'll be of dubious origin and quality and standard of maintenance.
That's fine. Just covers up his coat.
And
I don't know what
Addison,
you're talking about.
darling, can I call you Addie? Does that work?
For sure. My grandma used to call me Addie.
Addie, if I can't go dressed like this, you certainly can't go dressed like that.
We're going to have one of those shop montages where you all try out outfits.
Do you
I
work
like
on
to imagine
commission?
that-
Big mistake. Big mistake.
I like to imagine that Kara's closet is like the gun shelves from the Matrix, or it's just like outfits and outfits.
Yeah, Addison definitely dresses cozily. A little bit grandmotherly, considering how young she is. It's the big, like, woolen sweaters, the, like, jeans pulled up to here, like, very
Some
hipster.
granny core.
Very
grandcore.
hipster, very Woody Allen.
So, it sounds like we have a bit of a plan. So, some of you chaps are going to the Tottenham office, and some chaps are going to. Are you going to go off and be investigating elsewhere, or are you going to kind of back them up outside?
We're doing I'm proposing to Tempest the stakeout.
Okay.
I'm in.
What's the
Awesome.
worst that can happen?
Your go
So-
word, which is if anything goes wrong, your go word is Snapple.
Snapple.
See if you can work it into a conversation naturally, so they don't suspect anything. Okay. So, the Neo-Stoicals London office is on a near abandoned high street in Tottenham. Once its specialist food shops, barbers, newsagents and local businesses were presumably thriving, but many of those shop fronts are now boarded up. One of the few places still open is a barber, like an Afro-Caribbean specialist barber called Rakim's Cuts. The Neo-Stoicals branch takes up the ground floor of a 3-story building. The upper floor windows are dusty and dark. The lower floor has a bright red and white colour scheme. It has the name of the movement over the door with the red hand symbol, and beneath the symbol is the phrase Vita ex Pulvis on a scroll. And inside through the glass door you can just see it's set out to look like a front room with an upholstered chair and a couple of sofas. Now, let's say that if you wish to be staking the place out, you can do that from a car or a van. It's up to you. Those things are easy for you to get hold of.
That's still fair. It's like a flower shop. Fair.
So, who is heading in to the branch?
Kara will head in.
Mm-hmm.
Which she's replaced her ostentatious outfit with a very tight black band tee and a gold necklace that she should not be wearing without a security detail. And probably like some punkish leather boots, high ponytail. Madam, did you want to design Addison's outfit, or would you like Kara to?
I want Kara to. I feel like this would be a pure moment where it's like, I am your dress-up doll. Like,
Okay.
make me walk, make me talk, I'm your dolly.
Okay. So Kara would be like, "All right, I like the frumpy grandma thing that you have going on, but I want to amend it just a little bit. Like grandma did a lot
Wow,
of
huge
acid.
change.
You're beautiful.
And Kara will tousle the hair to make it as big as possible, and also give her probably like a kaleidoscope tie-dye Grateful Dead t-shirt, and some really nice sandals and torn, washed out jeans. Great. Now we look debaucherous enough to stand out, but wealthy enough to be of use.
And we have Gunther and Norman in our van. Is Tempest there as well? Is Tempest in the van?
Tempest is in the van, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And
So
has managed to stop at Greg's and get a buddy.
Excellent. Good choice.
Is that in Canada too?
So,
I've watched enough British TV to know what it is.
we'll have Addison and Kara walking into the front office. This room is white and brightly lit with a red sofa, 2 red comfy chairs, and then a desk with a laptop, a spinner of brochures, and an office chair. There's a door leading to somewhere in the back of the building. And after a few moments, you hear someone approaching. The door opens, and a petite lady enters. A petite Caucasian lady. She's blonde. She's, you guess, late 20s, early 30s, that kind of age. And she gives you a big, beaming smile and sits down at the desk and says, welcome, hello, how can I help you? Please, take a seat, make yourself at home.
Hi, how are you doing?
Very well, I'm Cassie.
Okay, hi, I'm Kara.
Kara, right.
Me and my girlfriend here were, we heard about a certain different way of thinking that we could contact through this place.
Of course. So, what do you know about Neo-Stoicism?
Not very much.
Oh, that's fine.
Kind of wanted to get the rundown, if you didn't mind.
Well, you see, our practice is based on the understanding that all our pain, our inner pain, comes from doubt and confusion. See, the world forces us to make hundreds of decisions every day. Some of them about these huge issues like what we're going to do with our lives, what's right and wrong, how we should live. And it's the pressure of all that choice that makes us so miserable. And as she talks, you guys in the van are able to pick up her voice, what she's saying. So, the Neo-Stoic practice is one where we let go of those choices. You see, we take the obligation away to make them for ourselves, and the pain goes away with it. And that's the core of what we do.
Right. Okay. That sounds like something we were interested in, right?
I have
Wonderful.
a lot of pain I would love to have rid of.
Oh, yes. Don't we all? Oh, it places so much pressure on us to be as if we're supposed to rule the world around us, just to get by. Now, let me see. Yes, so we have several stages of practitioner, from violet all the way through the spectrum to indigo. So the newly welcomed are violet. It can be a little daunting for them at first. We like to call them shrinking violets. Yeah. Now, you're welcome to be inducted into the indigo level. We can make an appointment with you, now, if you wish.
Okay. Well, that sounds great. Addie, do we still have that thing later on in the day, or is our schedule pretty clear?
I mean, we do have a couple of obligations, but we can switch a few things around if they're important enough.
Well,
Okay.
why don't I take your details, and I'll go and I'll see what I'll go into the back and see about our calendar.
Okay, that sounds amazing. Thank you so much. Was there somewhere that, before you go, was there somewhere that we could like donate, or is there any way that we can like contribute?
Yes, of course. Well, induction to indigo level is free of charge. There are nominal fees for induction as you move through the spectrum, but of course, charitable donations are always welcome and very gratefully received. I can give you our PayPal address and our banking details if you wish to make a direct transfer.
Oh my God,
I'll just
that'd
grab
be
those
so
for
great.
you. So she takes a couple of clipboards from the desk drawer and says, if you could just give me your details there, and hands them to you along with a pen. I'll be back in a tick. And she heads into presumably where the office is in the back.
Wonderful. And Carl will say, oh, God, I hate that fucking accent. Alright. Let's see here. I think Kara will probably write down the information of a fellow artist whom she doesn't really like that much, but replace like the name with Kara Stuffensberg.
It is a recognized form of petty revenge to sign someone up to give someone's details to the Scientologists, and
Absolutely.
they just never leave you alone.
Yeah.
So does Addison do a similar thing?
Yeah, Addison has definitely been like taking like mental notes for the most part, but also just starts like writing down any little bits of information, and she's probably going to end up putting down Norman's phone number and Norman's details.
Poor guy.
So you in the van, you've heard this, all the plans. Is there anything in particular you want to communicate to the people at the sharp end, or anything you guys want to do?
Basically, while this has been going down, Gunther has been making fun of Kara's accent, like, what the hell voice is that? This is why she's an artist and not an actress. Okay, we're getting the PayPal information. Good.
You seen how quick they've been like changing their attitude when they heard about the money?
Yeah.
It's definitely a cult.
Yeah, you could tell. I bet it takes a couple of grand to go from lavender to apricot. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're doing all right in there. Everything seems safe so far, though.
So Cassie returns, and she has a sheet with the various details of the many different means by which a charitable donation can be made to the Neo-Stoicals. Now, I think we can pencil you in for tomorrow afternoon, and that will be an induction into the Violet level. You'll be given a talk about our principles, the concepts that were first developed by David and Marsha Madigan. They had an extraordinary insight into the source of our pain, and more than that, they understood how to take it away. It's an inspiring story. So, what time is suitable for you tomorrow afternoon?
Kara will say, do you have anything in the afternoon? Like,
Oi!
probably like a 1 p.m. ish.
1 p.m. Yes, perfect. We can definitely fit you in there.
Thank you so much. Oh my God, I appreciate it so dearly.
Do you have any further questions about our movement or our practice?
How long have you been here?
Me? Oh, a good 3 or 4 years. Yes, I'm Yellow.
All right. That sounds so... I love yellow, so I can't wait to get to where you are right now. All right, well, I guess I will go buy some violet t-shirts. This is so exciting.
Well, it's just a name, but you're welcome to coordinate if you wish.
Oh, girl, coordinating is like my thing. I love it.
We like a good prompt schedule around here.
Mm-hmm. So, any further questions, or shall we see you at 1 tomorrow?
Would it be, we might not, I don't know when their flight's supposed to get in, but would it be a big deal if we brought like a friend with us at all?
Oh, yes, of course. Yes, if you could get us our details before our before our induction. Yes, it's an insurance fire code sort of thing, you see.
Right, absolutely, for sure. Okay, well, thank you so much. And Kara will hook her arm underneath Addison's and go, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, you will. And Addison, her manner seems familiar somehow. And then you notice that on a desk next to the computer, there's a small frame photograph, and looks like it's from the 70s. And it's of two beaming people, both Caucasian. There is a man with short dark hair, and there's a lady with sort of quite voluminous red curls. And you've seen that lady before. You've seen this middle-aged woman, a bit older than she is in the photograph, with glossy red hair and a heartless smile. You are standing on a chair in the middle of a room, and you're standing on the chair because you're a child. You're very young, and for this, you have to be taller than everybody else in the room. You have to be there standing on a chair so you can look down at the adult worshippers in their grey robes. Your robe is golden, and this lady that you recognize looks up at you and says, "Go on, Gertrude. Don't be shy." And you yell, "Fight!" And all these people in their robes, instantly without questioning, begin laying into each other. The thump of fists and feet into flesh filling the air. Bones crack, there are yelps of pain. And this part of a memory which you've held down for so long, where you've got a different name, is so vivid it's like you were physically there, and suddenly you are back in the room. And Kara, you see as Addison's eyes fall upon this picture on the desk, you see her eyes glaze over, and she seems to be a million miles away for a good long few moments, until she sort of comes round. And you don't think that Cassie, the lady, has noticed this. She's been busy sort of looking over the various papers and sort of checking the calendar and filling things in. But you definitely noticed that Addison has had a very strange turn.
All right, honey, let's go.
Addison, can you please make a see through the illusion roll?
Oh Lord.
Oh gosh, yes, absolutely.
So see through the illusion is 2d10 plus your soul.
Plus soul, okay. That comes to a 16.
Okay, so you perceive things for a moment as they truly are. This moment of intense stress and revelation causes the illusion to become briefly transparent, only for you. You see that Cassie, looks pale and sickly, not a little tired. But then that veneer falls away. She is a pallid corpse, shorn of hair and facial features, with nails and rusty knives impaled through her limbs, flaps of torn skin hanging from sinewy exposed muscle. She smiles and says, "We'll look forward to it." And the reality, the illusion, the reality sinks beneath the surface of the illusion again, and the image of the woman, Cassie, reasserts itself. So please roll to keep it together, which is a 2d10 plus your willpower. Maintain your composure in the face of this.
Okay. Don't let me down now. Not 20, I mean, in a way.
So, you are able to maintain your composure. You grit your teeth and you stay the course. And Kara, I believe you were about to lead Addison out of the front office?
Yes, rushing.
So, we can say that Kara shepherds Addison out of the front office. You guys in the van see them emerging.
And what exactly was that?
I don't know. I'm so sorry. Something came over me. I saw a picture on the desk, and it was like there was some other sort of... I was someone else. Gertrude?
What you saw reminded you of the strange biomechanical creatures you encountered in the gallery, the ones that served the Weaver.
it was not all too dissimilar from everything that we saw at the gallery. Those weird half human, half machine things.
Interesting. By the way, let's get back in the van.
By the way, do you think gold would ever suit me?
Kara will take her necklace off and clasp it around Addison's neck. You look beautiful, darling. Now get your ass in the van.
She'll hold on to it, and under her breath, she'll just be like, fight? Like, just... Right. Jump into the van.
Well,
Sounded like that went well.
educational to say the least. That lady's eyes were creepy. I'm talking like Jordan Peele Get Out creepy. It's not a
Is
fan.
everybody okay?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. Seems like
So-
we're good.
And it looks like we'll be able to make sure that Tempest can get in tonight, too.
Great, buddy.
Oh god, I'm starving. And
Here you go.
Reconstituted
the better
meat
place for
supplement,
breakfast.
meat replacement. So, you've had your first encounter with the Neo-Stoicals, perhaps found out rather more than you expected. You have an appointment tomorrow at 1 p.m. What do you do?
You go ahead.
I was just gonna. I'm imagining that Gunther's taking everybody back home, or he's gonna ask, do we want to stick together tonight, or what's the plan?
Well, apparently, Care Bear doesn't want you at her place, so where are we gonna stay? That's the thing.
I have a spot that's not too far.
I mean, maybe it would be safer if we all stay at the same sort of place for now, as close together. I mean, unfortunately, it might not be as lavish as we want, but it would be safe and discreet.
All right.
Slumber party? Slumber party?
Take your shoes off before you come in.
So, are we all heading back to Gunter's pad?
I think
But
so.
he's just driving the bus.
So, we shall retire to Gunter's pad. Watson claims he hasn't been fed, but Gunter, you know by now not to believe his
bullshit.
lies.
That is bullshit, Gunther. I mean, that's bullshit, Watson.
As
You always do
soon-
this.
As soon as they walk in the door, Kara goes, "Oh my god, he's adorable!
He's got a little hat.
I see that. What is your name, you precious lion?"
His name's Watson.
Oh my
It's because I'm a detective and I don't have a lot of
yes. Uh-huh. And Kara is playing with Cat.
So
Yeah. Should have warned me first.
oh,
Oh yes, Tempest is a bit allergic.
My eyes are itching. Why?
Why I
I've got some
have a cat?
Claritin in the bathroom. Look,
Okay.
I'm gonna call around, see if I can find anybody that knows anything about these folks. Make yourselves at home. There's alcohol, and that's it.
It's just gonna. Tim's just gonna go to the bathroom, pop like 2 or 3 Claritin with like some alcohol. Just gonna get good and fucked up legally here.
Cheap legal high. Right. So, Gunter, if we're going to do some digging around, we can have an investigation roll, which is a roll plus your reason. Is anyone else doing anything like this?
Probably Norman will check like on his laptop, like who have been notoriously like the highest like color of like the gradient thing and known of the world first.
Okay. So you guys can both make investigate rolls. So Gunther, let's have yours.
I got a 16.
Nice. All right. So I will say that Gunther finds out two things. The first is that the Neo-Stoical movement for new identity is registered as owning two properties in London. One is their North London office. And what you find interesting is that most of the time you'll have the ground floor, which is a shop or whatever, and then you'll have flats above it. They own the all three floors and a basement floor. They own the whole thing. The second is that they own the premises of... Now I'll find its name. Ah yes, they own the premises of the Hornsey Foot and Nail Clinic. Which is a small private medical practice.
What's the name of the clinic again?
The Hornsey Foot and Nail Clinic, which by the sound of it is specializes in podiatry.
All right. As soon as he finds that out, he's gonna pick up the phone again and set an appointment for tomorrow. He broke his foot.
So you attempt to call the Hornsey Foot and Nail Clinic, but you can't get through. Nobody's answering the phone.
All right, who's sober enough for a field trip?
Not me.
Not me.
She's
That is
swigging
some
Benylin from the
good
bottle.
Shit, you got in there, detective.
I guess I might be sober enough, and so might Norman.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, field trip, kiddies.
Should we change our safe word to Snapple?
Norman, can we have your investigation roll, please?
9.
Yep.
I don't know. I kind of like pumpernickel
9.
still.
It's
So
been
what was it?
9.
It's a 9.
Yeah.
So with 9, you're not able to dig up anything else about them.
Okay.
So you have the mainly it's that they own these two properties. As for the color gradient, she said violet all the way through to indigo. So presumably it's violet, then Richard III Game Battle in Vain, but without the V. So Richard, Roy GB, you're not able to find any lists of who is at the top level. You can't find any list of members at all.
Okay. Right. Norman is going to add asking we're going to the foot things.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to turn the curtain to look outside, see if it's still being seeing the same guy following him.
So you can please roll 2d10.
10.
Okay. Let's see what 10 gets us. Okay. So you don't see anything outside. Doesn't mean they're not watching you. You just can't see them right now.
Okay. I think we're safe for the moment. So you want to... Is it a clue that you find to go over there? Officer?
So, yeah, I talked to an old cop buddy of mine. He gave me some listings of properties that are owned. And the Hornsey Foot Nail Clinic is one of them. Tried to call to set up an appointment about my broken toe, and nobody picked up. So I figured I'd scope the place out, see what's going on, get their business hours, see if anybody's hanging around.
I think it's the right time, and actually, if we can go right now. He's looking furtively towards the curtain again.
Are you all right? Somebody.
Well, yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, that's not true. But okay, let's go. You're coming with? He looks at Addison.
Anywhere Norman goes, I'll carry his gear.
So those of you who are feeling a bit merry, I'll give you -1 on some rolls, but +1 on rolls to, for instance, keep it together, if you're going to go along with them. It's your choice whether you do or not, but you're not completely incapacitated, you're just a bit altered.
Gunther's gonna shepherd Addison and Norman out, and like as he's getting ready to close the door, he just looks at Kara and Tempest and goes, "You two behave yourself. Watson, you're on guard duty." He closes the door.
So
what
section is bed?
Yeah.
So I think that I was going to ask, what do Tempest and Kara get up to? But I think that answers it. You shot Watson out of the room, or not, it's your choice. And we shall fade tastefully to black as we join...
Wunderbar.
My man!
As we join the rest of our brethren. So they're heading towards the Hornsey Foot and Nail Clinic, a much less romantic destination. It's again in the north of London. It's in the same borough as Tottenham. It doesn't look anything like you expected. It proves to be tucked away in a small industrial estate. The other units are either closed or not in use, and the clinic takes up a square brick building with a set of garage doors on the front and the clinic's name on a little sign. The doors are locked with a chain and a padlock.
Well, does not look like they're open for business anytime soon.
Is there more information relatable to the opening? Or it's closed like...
You only found the name of the place. You haven't been able to find out information about the clinic's operation itself.
I mean, a lock is just a lock until it's been unlocked, right? Well, why don't you just use your bobby pin method?
You think I know how to undo locks? He's gonna try and walk around and see if there's a back door.
Okay, so there's only one way in, these big garage doors. It's not a key lock, it's a combination lock. A 5-number combination lock.
Addison...
How busy is the area?
Can Gunther please make a roll to observe the situation? So a roll plus perception.
That's a 50-60.
Okay, so normally you can ask a couple of questions, but there's something specifically that catches your eye. You are being watched from just outside the estate. Someone is watching from a car. You think it's a woman with shoulder-length black hair.
Okay. He's going to just continue looking at the clinic and go, Addison, Norman, act normally, but we are being watched.
Ooh, where?
Don't look, Norman. He's just going about it, and he's just, do either of you have your cameras on you?
Always.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
Of the car with the woman with the long black hair, I want to say to my 4 o'clock.
So you guys see this car with this lady inside, and it's a Caucasian lady with black hair.
Thanks.
From this distance, you can't tell much anything else about her.
Do you think they've been watching us for long, or have they just arrived?
Well, I can affirm that this one is different.
This one is different. You've been watched by someone else?
I feel like I've been watched, like followed, stalked, taking notes about.
Do you have any leads on who's doing it?
No, well, I actually pointed out like to you guys at the cafe, but like no one like really like pay attention. So, but like he was in front of, he wasn't in front of your place, so I don't think he's always following me, or maybe I like succeed to
Lose him.
escape him. Yeah.
Well, if I could just get a picture of that license plate, we'll have our first lead on who may be following you.
So, if you wish to try and grab that, this will be an act under pressure roll, which is 2d10 plus your coolness.
Yeah.
So whoever's going to try and grab this shot, please make that roll.
Come, Addy. Let's get the coffee place naturally.
Okay, so you get a decent shot of this person, but you also think that she might have made you, because just after you've got this shot, the car slowly backs away out of sight, and you can hear the sound of kind of the road under the tires as it drives off.
Hey,
So it was a partial success.
are there any windows to this clinic?
No, there are not. You don't think it's a clinic. This looks more like a metal workshop or something, or like a car maintenance place than anything else.
How busy is the area around here?
It's the middle of the night. Well, it's late. It'll be night by now. You've done the thing and come home and so forth. Even then, it looks like very few of these places are open or doing anything. So the only person you've seen here is this lady who was watching you.
I'm gonna see if there's anything I can do against the lock.
Okay, so a combination lock, you can't pick like a lock with a key. You can see if you can just wreck you can just yank the chain off and break it. It doesn't look like everything's in a bit of poor repair. So I will say that will be a roll plus violence to just try and break it.
Ooh, that is the thing that I'm not good at.
It's this
The thing that I'm good at.
If only you were there. You're rolling plus violence for an entirely different purpose.
My poor bed.
Watson is very confused, poor flower.
Close the door. But then Watson started screaming outside because it was rude for us to close the door on Watson.
It's up to you whether Watson watches or not.
Watson's gonna tell me everything, and I'm gonna come after you.
What's that, Watson? Timmy's down the well? Oh no. Oh my
What?
God.
The where? My pillows. All right. Anyway.
Not my Care Bears. Why did you do that to the Care Bears?
Care Bear stared.
My beanie babies, they were mint.
I'm trying not to go full American on this problem, but
That might attract unwanted attention. You're free to do. It's your choice. You're free to do what you want. I would add the harm of the weapon to your roll, which I think is 3 for a gun.
yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm just. We'll come back. I mean, but we've been made that like they could take stuff out of here. Is what he's thinking. Why would this place be billed as a goddamn clinic and it's a goddamn factory? Alright.
Here, let me just take a quick look. And Addison would like to look at the code and see if there's any numbers which seem more faded, maybe, than like the others, more used.
It's a cool idea, but it doesn't seem like that. It hasn't. You don't think it's been locked in the same place for a long time. For instance, you're not able to tell anything from the state of the lock itself, what the 5-digit code might be.
Okay, like, no, nothing. It's been barely used, if not new.
Yeah. This is very suspicious, and there's no other way inside.
We could break a window.
There is no windows.
Of course, right. We could kick the door in.
There must be a drain somewhere.
Either that or a tool which can cut through the chain.
Yeah, I'm gonna look around to see if I can find any kind of bolt cutters or a crowbar, just something that could.
Okay,
mess with these.
let's have a. I think this will be an observer situation. So this will be a roll plus your perception.
Yeah. Okay, that's not good. That's a 5.
Okay. So, you have a look around and you try to find a suitable tool, but you try and sort of force the door to what you guess is like a car maintenance place, and an alarm goes off, a high ringing alarm. It doesn't bring anyone running immediately, but it might be connected to somewhere else, so someone might be aware that you're here.
Good. Trying to check like on the reception if there's like any like paper with like the codes on it or something like that.
You see a deep sigh on Gunther's face. They can only hang you once, right?
Hang us? I'm too young for this. There must be a way that we can like turn this off, or.
Is there any like pads? Like you can like enter a code or something?
The actual alarm. You just tried to open the door to get into the garage. Alarm went off. You don't know what it's connected to.
Hey, I think there might be a thing in the car. If you two could go to the car and get it for me real quick.
Cool. What do you need?
I have a toolbox, and I'm gonna see if I can undo the alarm. It's just a bunch of tiny screwdrivers. It should be.
Alright, I'm bringing the toolbox. It's just like running to the car,
Yeah,
grabbing
can
the
you
whole
go with them,
toolbox.
Madison?
I'll turn the other way.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
I have the toolbox.
So, I will say that the gun blasts. It is a solid enough lock, but you shoot it off,
Okay.
and the door is now the master key succeeded. Your skeleton key has opened up the door.
America. All right, so kick the door open. And I'm gonna look to see if I can find a switch for this alarm.
All right, so there's a box on the wall. So you're inside the garage now. There's a box on the wall. It doesn't have like there's a panel like that you can turn a key in. There's a wire at the top as well leading out, which hasn't been very well housed. There's a chance you don't have the key. You don't know if you've got anything which could lever open the box easily, but there is the wire. You could always take a shot at just tearing that out.
Yeah, we're gonna take a shot.
Okay, so you yank the wires out of the top of the box, and the alarm goes dead. You are now in a car maintenance shop, and there's a bunch of different tools, and you're going to be able to find a pair of bolt cutters or equivalent in here.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that. Just undo the chains, get everybody in. Tell them we've got about 5 minutes to look for anything incriminating or interesting. Then we need to go.
Alexa, set timer for 5 minutes.
Hey Siri, set timer for 5 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes.
That was my Siri. Okay, so you're able to snip the chain off, but yes, you believe you've got limited time in here.
Okay, so I'm gonna just snoop around. I'm looking for any kind of ledgers. Looking for any kind of client lists.
Okay. So inside, this industrial unit, is empty aside from for some shelving units with nothing on them, and a large hole broken through the concrete floor to a level below. A crude ramp of rubble and wooden planks leads down to what looks like a corridor of dressed stone. There's a structure beneath this industrial unit.
Get the cameras out. We're investigating.
You want to go down there?
Of course. Like every paranormal investigation starts with a creepy hole.
I always get the worst cases ever. Alright, I'm not letting you go down there alone. But 5 minutes and then we're out.
Yeah, I will be short. Alright. And like Norman started going first.
Yep.
Yep, Addison will follow.
Okay. So what you find down there, we shall go through after I think we've had a quick break to grab a drink and have a stretch, and any other necessary functions, because I am getting all tight and wound up on my shoulders. So I think we shall reconvene in a few to see what you find.
All right.
Epic. Thank you so much, Ben. Yes, we will all return in just a moment. Please enjoy these highlights, and we'll see you all shortly. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in a moment. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to KULT Vita X Pulvis episode 3 part 2. It's good to have you all back. Thank you for hanging out during those highlights. I'm sorry about the weird sound issues there, but hopefully we'll be able to continue on with our more spoops and breaking into buildings and having sex in other people's beds while the cat watches and all of that good jazz.
So, 3 of you are about to head beneath this strange industrial unit that is owned by the neo-stoical movement, whereas 2 of you are in Gunther's flat and in our post-copulation glow. The 2 of you are taking a bit of a breather, maybe getting some water, having a bit of a stretch in Gunther's flat. I believe one of you mentioned the possibility of having a bit of a potter around. Well,
Tempest is definitely going to go through all of Gunther's things since Gunther isn't here.
So
he's going to try and figure this dude out.
Tempest can make an investigation roll.
Oh,
so
boy.
roll plus reason.
Oh boy, she's not very reasonable, but we'll try. That's a 6.
So as you are trying to rifle through all the usual hiding places like the underwear drawer and the cistern in the toilet and things like that, the lights are off, and there's a particular dark corner, and a great sense of unease comes over you. The fact that you can't see into this particular corner of the main room at all, because you remember a corner just like that one, and you remember sleeping in a bed and looking into that corner and seeing the darkness just shifting and taking form because someone was crouching in the corner of your bedroom when you were a child. And you recall that it was what they called your imaginary friend. He was a long-limbed, crouching figure with a face that had no features, just an expanse of skin where his face should be, with a bleeding scar in the shape of a handprint. And it's as if he's there now. The memory once again surfacing, but absolutely definitely real. And you can hear him say, "So, what do they call you now? You changed your name. You didn't just leave me. You tried to change who you are."
To change who I was. Completely.
Do you know where I came from?
I have a feeling.
You see, I think the reason I found you again is because you're getting very close to that place.
I think I
You
might have went
see,
to there.
I was hiding. I needed a place to hide. And I found you. But you left. And every time I tried to find you, you left again. You don't remember, do you, all the times that you caught a glimpse of me and had to run away again? Never laying down roots wherever you went. But it's all right. It's all right now. Because you won't get away from me this time. This time you are coming to me. You see this? I didn't always have this. Do you know where it came from?
Where?
The people you're trying to find put it on me, so I would do everything they say, which is why I escaped. But now you are coming to me.
Looks like tables have turned. I used to be
Perhaps.
the one that ran away, now it's you.
Yes. Strange how things work out, isn't it?
A little bit. Person loses themselves in a storm
You know,
and finds themselves.
however it ends, I'll get to see you again. You were my port in that storm. You believed in me. You gave me a place to hide. But you got frightened of me and ran away. I knew you'd come back eventually. The image of it fades and is suddenly banished as the light comes on, and Kara emerges from the bedroom, having switched the light on.
Why are you so
Hey,
dark, you fucking weirdo?
sorry, the Benadryl and the hooch must have hit me harder than I thought.
Are you crying?
Yes, I am. Allergies. Cat. Watery eyes.
Kara will very awkwardly hug Tempest. Past 2 days have been a lot.
Yeah.
So, back at what was supposedly the Hornsey Foot and Nail Clinic, we have Addison, Norman, and Gunter, who are facing this large hole that's been cut into the concrete floor, leading to a subterranean level. What do you do?
Is it dark or like it's pretty much well lit?
There's some light down there, but it's not very brightly lit.
All right. So I'm getting my like small camera with like the infrared
But like the night
option
vision
on it.
Yep.
Yeah, night vision things on it. So just switching night vision on and just like start looking like over like the small screen on the side, like advancing to like lead the way in that tunnels.
So, the corridor, the sort of tunnel that you head into, looks like it's a very old construction, very old, worn limestone. Parts of it are kind of decorative cornices and false columns, but they've been worn away by time. You get the sense it might even be Roman. And this short corridor opens up into a larger room. There is a heavy door opposite you, and it's barred from this side. But this room has in it, standing around it, 10 statues. They're all robed and faceless. Many of them seem to have extra limbs. One of them is larger than the others, raised on a plinth, This one has several heads, and it's raising one of its hands as if to deliver a blessing.
Addison's
Okay,
gonna
I
make
think-
sure she's filming.
I think we found a worshipping place.
Yeah, I think you could say we definitely found some sort of ritualistic thing in here. This doesn't
Not on
seem
the up and
normal.
up.
What did you say, Noir?
You just said, well, this is definitely confirmation that they're not on the up and up.
Yeah, definitely not. Especially from like a side business they have.
All right, let's get our pictures and try and wrap this up quick, yeah?
So
Well, I
you
would
get
actually-
shots of all the easily get shots of all these statues. They're all different, but none of them have faces that you can see. And the thing about the one that's raised up above the others is that it's got several heads, all hooded, and that's its kind of standout feature. And
You
apart
said there
from that,
was
the
like a
only
metal
feature of the room
door.
is the door with the bar.
Yeah. I'm going to approach the door and try and looking at it.
So it has a small window. It's metal. It's got a small window set with bars in it. You can see through to, you think, a chamber just ahead of a longer corridor. And leading off from the side of that chamber is another room. There's another door. But this one's looks like it's a kind of makeshift one of plywood or something.
The door, is it openable?
It's barred, but the bar is on this side. Big heavy metal bar. So it's to keep someone in.
I think we might want to check there, but I'm not totally sure with the security.
I think at this point we are a bit far in to worry about security now.
And so you can also see that the place past the door looks like there's a couple of bare bulbs that have been strung up on the ceiling with wires. So it's got basic makeshift lighting.
What if like every people that try to escape this like cult have been trapped in here? Maybe they need help. Yeah, I think this is what's happening. Maybe we need to open the door and try to help them.
If you're sure, that's... I mean, it's great
I mean,
content.
it would be on our duty to save them. When I right, like, officer?
Hell, he pulls out his gun and he goes to the door. Anybody in there? Anybody need any help?
And you hear a reply, a weak reply. You think it's a man's voice. English accent says quite weakly, yes? Who's there?
I undo the bar and I open the door.
So you lift the bar and the door opens. It takes a bit of a shove, but it opens. You have a corridor leading off, which you think is lined with cells. You can just see the first couple. They don't have cell doors, they just have cells which have been mortared into the ceiling and the floor. And then there's another door, this plywood partition, leading off to one side.
The hell? Norman! Addison, help me get these people out. And he's just gonna go to each cell, and if he sees somebody, he's gonna open the door.
So
Yeah.
you have a corridor with 4 cells on each side, and there is a stairway leading down at the far end of it. 3 of the cells are empty. The first one you see, which has something in it, has a body inside. It's evidently lain there for a long time and is now almost mummified, with leather-coloured skin stretched tight over the skull. It wears the remains of a jeans and t-shirt. The one next to it has 2 fresher bodies, Caucasian woman in a summer dress, heavily stained with blood and gore, and an Asian male in a dark grey suit, similarly filthy. It looks like they've been killed with blows to the head, which have fractured their skulls and rendered them unrecognizable.
Addison, is that corpses?
Just take pictures, and then did we ever find the fellow who said he needed help?
Not yet.
Take pictures of this, and then I need you to go back upstairs and call the cops. I'm gonna find whoever needs help.
So the next cell has a naked Caucasian man with his skin covered in scratches, exuding a smell of dried blood and sweat. He pants as he breathes and drools, crouching on the floor of the cell. You see his fingertips are bloody and worn down to the bone, and his forearms are covered in deep bite marks. He snaps and snarls at you as you come into view. Past him is a cell with a huge German Shepherd dog. As far as you can tell at first glance, it's well fed, but it's has nicks missing from its ears, and it has no collar. And there's some well-chewed bones littering the floor. And the last cell has a Caucasian guy in his 20s, filthy with several recent bruises and lacerations on his face. He's wearing a pair of black boxer shorts and nothing else, and you see that his right ear is missing. The skin around the wound is blistered and burned. He presses himself up against the bars and says, You've got to get me out of here.
All right. He's got the gun on the side.
Oh, shit, is that a gun? Oh, Christ, is that a gun?
Yes, but it's to keep us safe.
Oh, God. Listen, I don't know how much good that'll be. Look, there are other ones in here below. You made a hell of a racket upstairs. They're going to be here any moment. You're going to have to pull these out, and he grabs the bars and shakes them. I'm not sure. There's a chap, a jailer, I suppose, who locks people in here and seals them up. And listen, just get me out of here. Just don't fanny around here. Just do something.
He works on getting them out. He goes, Norbert, call the cops now.
If you're going to get him out, you'll need to try and pull the bars out. There's no door. They've been mortared directly into the floor and ceiling.
Oof, this is a violence check, isn't it?
Yes.
Do you have any signal on the ground?
There are also rules for helping and hindering.
There are.
More than one person.
If more than one of you are going to try to do this, you can make the same roll, and you can, if you succeed, you'll modify the person who's making the main roll. You don't have a signal under here. You'd have to leave this underground part to get a signal.
Okay, so yeah, that didn't do it. That is an 8. He's just kind of pulling like, ugh.
So this guy is looking panicked as he tries to help you in moving the bars, but they just won't shift, and there are footsteps coming up the stairs. What do you do?
Norman, take Addison out of here. We need to get the proof out, and we need to get the cops here. First things
But what
first.
about you? Like, are you going to get caught?
I have a gun.
Yeah, but like, if we close the door behind us, they won't find out that we've been here.
That's why we have to photograph. That's why we have the pictures. And that's why we'll have the cops coming.
All right, come, Addison. We're no use here anyway.
I'm gonna try one more time to get this guy out.
Okay. So a violence check, please.
Damn it, that's a 14. Oh no, that's not a 14. That's a 13 because my violence is -1.
So you loosen one of the bars, but you aren't able to actually remove it, as into this corridor walks a man who must be 7 foot tall.
I just immediately turn around. Freeze! Do not move!
He has a weather-beaten, bulky build with massive shoulders and a belly overhanging his tatty jeans. His face is flat and brutal, extending for an almost total lack of a neck. He scowls and draws a huge cleaver-like blade, brown-black, with old, encrusted blood.
Oh yeah, we're
Addison and Norman, you're aware of Gunter making, don't move, roll, shoot noises as you're heading back through into the statue room. What do you do?
Do we still have no signal on there?
You have no
I'm
signal
constantly
on your
like
phone.
having my like cell phone until I'm getting it.
You got no signal on your phone.
We need to do something.
You can try to help him, or you can run. Or you can film whatever happens.
Do you have any weapon on you?
I have my Leatherman.
I have that damn dagger that I kept from like.
Let's go. And Addison will place the camera down on the ground, facing towards them, and the action. And
Okay.
encourage Norman.
Gunter, you have your gun out. This guy is advancing on you with a cleaver. What do you do?
I'm gonna pull the trigger.
So, you're going to shoot. We roll to engage in combat. So you make a roll plus violence. If you hit, so your gun has 4 ammo. So it's not actual bullets. It just represents the how many times you can attack with it. You've spent 1. You have 3 left. Your choices are: you can shoot 1 ammo, which will do 2 damage if you hit. You can overkill, which is 2 ammo, but you'll do 3 damage if you hit. You can just pump him full of lead, but it will use up most of your remaining bullets.
I'm going to pump him full of lead.
Okay.
This is
So-
what got him in trouble in the first place. So.
Roll plus violence, please.
Oof. I've been rolling well, but that's not bad. That is a 15.
Okay. So,
8 minus 1.
cool. So you put 3 bullets into his central mass.
Uh-oh.
Rancid gore pours out of the wound. An appalling stench hits you. Please make a keep it together roll.
Oh, this is not gonna go well. Keep it together. That is a 18.
18. You manage to hold down, you manage not to hurl in the face of this foulness. Please make a roll to see through the illusion as you're under extreme stress.
You do the illusion, that's all I get plus 0.
Mhm.
And that is an 8, 9, 10. So that's just a 10.
A 10, okay. Okay. You see through the illusion momentarily. In reality, this thing is a bloated horror, naked with doughy folds of flesh down to its knees. The face has no nose and a lolling, open mouth. Instead of eyes, the sockets are lined with teeth. And it lunges at you with its cleaver. So, you need to roll to avoid harm. This is your roll plus reflexes.
Oh, okay.
So, he swings it at you, a huge swinging haymaker of a blow. You duck backwards from it and it slams into the wall, separating the cells with the feral human and the German shepherd. Bits of mortar clatter down onto the floor, and its true image is glossed over again by the image of this enormous, bull-necked man. Addison, what do you do? You're just down the corridor from this this creature which has just been shot and is still coming.
Addison is going to use her remote thing to set off a bright flash from the her camera.
Please act under pressure to see if you can distract him momentarily.
Okay.
I do like this idea.
14.
Okay, so the flash goes off. The creature lurches as it's suddenly distracted, and clearly it's been dazzled by this. However, so have you and Norman. So you'll be at a penalty if you try to do anything immediately. Norman, so you're in the statue room. You've got lights, like the kind of after image of this sudden camera flash, sort of making stars in front of your eyes. What do you do?
I think I will like run after like the creatures and trying to like get my like dagger.
Okay. So you'll be sprinting down the corridor for this sort of action. Gunter, this thing's just missed trying to take your head off with its cleaver. You've got one decent shot left, you believe, in your gun. What do you do? Say that again, you cut out?
I'm sorry. I said I am not throwing away my shot. So
okay, make your shot. So you've got enough left for like a single like controlled shot. It does 2 harm and takes 1 ammo, which I believe will empty your gun.
You know what? Actually, this is the move that's either gonna save me or get me killed. The way I figure it, the way Gunther figures it, this thing is the jailer, right? Logically speaking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna let out the feral guy.
Okay, so this will be a violence check. So this will be a violence check to try and sort of kick one of the bars out of whack. Yeah. So please make your 2d10 plus violence. So what have we got?
Double ones, and my violence is a -1, so that's
okay.
I literally rolled 1.
So I believe that the jailer's path of action is clear. He grabs you. He grabs you in his enormous sort of, although you've seen them for the kind of gross, flabby appendages they are, they're also enormously strong. One arm grabs you in a vice-like grip, and the other brings up its cleaver. Please roll to avoid harm. I will give you -2 for this because he's got you in a headlock.
Yeah, that's not happening.
What have we got?
We got avoid harm. It's a 1. I rolled an 8. It's a 9.
Okay. So his meat cleaver slams down into you. Please roll to endure injury. This is a roll. You add your fortitude. You subtract 3 for the harm of the cleaver.
Okay, that's not bad. I don't have anything in fortitude, so that's just to make it 17.
Negative 17. So you ride out the pain. You keep going. You raise an arm, and it hits your forearm. It impacts against the bone, but doesn't break it. Hurts like hell, but you're still going. Norman, you reach them. It's wrestling Gunter. What do you do?
I'm jumping in his back and just like planting like little dagger that I have like.
It's distracted, so I'm going to give you +2 to your engaging combat roll, which is a roll plus violence, and I'll give you that extra 2.
No, you're supposed to get away.
16.
16. You bury your dagger up to the hilt in the back of its neck, rip it out again, slam it home again, and this time you think you hit something vital. This enormous man falls to his knees, pitches onto his front, and there's an appalling flood of foul-smelling gore from the various wounds that have been opened up in its body. It heaves out a long, ragged final breath and then falls still, its considerable bulk lying on top of Gunter.
Oh!
gosh, oh
And
my gosh, oh 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 my gosh.
Norman, having killed someone, you're going to need to roll to keep it together, which is a roll plus your willpower.
It's 9.
Okay. This is the first time you've ever done something like this. And then a memory comes back that maybe it isn't. You lose 2 stability.
Oh god.
Gunter, as the weight of this huge body bears down on you, the intensity of the violence brings you back to a different time and place. It brings you back to a church. And that same smell of a freshly fired gun is in the air. A smell you never forgot. A man in the vestments of a Catholic priest lies on the floor. Your heart is racing and your hand shakes. Behind you, a door bangs open and running footsteps approach. "Oh, Jesus and Mary," says a rough voice behind you. "Oh, damn it, detective, you couldn't do it somewhere else? This is going to be a bastard to clean up. Look, just go home. The family will deal with it. And you're gonna owe us. Again." And the smell of the gun smoke and the feel of the violence, the sudden dump of adrenaline into your system brings this memory back from where it was buried, and then it subsides again, and you are once more lying on your back with this monstrous creature, a monstrous man, it looks like, on top of you, and Norman standing over it with a blood-covered knife in his hand.
At that point, he's
spattered
pretty
with
much
blood.
like crouch, like on his like he's like kind of crouched on the ground, like holding the knife and just like lost in like his thought of like what's going on.
Norman,
So,
are you okay?
Mm.
And she'll
He's
like,
still holding like the dagger, like bloody, like. Yeah, I think. Why? That thing was almost killing. Like that person.
right,
He's
but
dead.
you've been crouched since, and here. And she'll reach forward to try and gently take the knife out of his hand.
Not to break the moment, but you guys mind helping me get this big fucker off me?
Right. Don't go anywhere, she says to Norman before. Okay.
so together you roll this enormous body. He must be like 350 pounds in American weights. I only know weights from wrestlers' weights, and that's how big a really, really big dude is. So you just about managed to roll this guy off Gunter. And from the cell, the end cell, the chap in the cell says, "Bloody hell. Well, now that's done with, do you think you can see your way clear to letting me out of here?"
Yeah, 1 second. Just one small matter to attend to, and I kick the body.
You hoof it, big
Addison-
meaty thwack, as you bury your toe in his side.
And Addison's gonna make sure she retrieves her camera.
Mm-hmm.
And check out the photo that she took with the flash on.
So, if you all just take a bit of time, and now you're not under time pressure, you can yank one of the bars out of the cell and let this unfortunate chap out.
This poor unfortunate soul.
Poor unfortunate soul, in pain, in need. Which is true in this case.
After we get him out, Gunther is gonna walk over to Norman and go, "That was pretty dumb, kid, but yeah, man, this big fuck had my number, so thank you."
Well, I'm glad I helped. Am I in trouble now? I never killed someone.
No, you didn't kill anybody, and I feel like with my last bullet, bang, I killed him.
Yeah.
Addison's
One in the head,
suddenly
make sure
very
they're dead.
glad that her camera was off at this moment.
So, are you freeing this unfortunate chap in the cell?
Yeah.
Okay, so eventually you manage to get the bar out, it clangs to the floor, and he gingerly steps out, kind of picking his way around the body. Okay, I can't stop to thank you properly. I've got to get out of here.
Who are you?
My name's Lysander. Lysander Keithley.
So, how'd you end up here, Lysander?
I'm buggered if I really remember it all, to be honest. Look, last thing I remember, I went to the Tottenham branch of these chaps, one of those religious lots, you know? A girl told me about it, Alexandra Caldana, American girl. Her dad's rich, I think. And I thought, well, if there's more like her there, might be a good place to meet some, you know? I don't think it was perhaps the best choice I've ever made.
Yeah, I get that.
I thought it wasn't for me, you know. Went to the first thing, they were going to induct me as a violet. And there was a lot of talk about, I don't really remember it very well. Took a bit of a thrashing, I'm afraid. About abandoning who you are. And I thought, I'm not sure if that sounds like it's for me, you know, obeying another power, submitting, giving up control. And I said, I don't think this is really my cup of tea. And then there was a lot of pain and fear. I think I got a bloody good thrashing. And I woke up in here. That's it. Look, I can't stay. I'm getting out of here. I have to get out of here.
Look, ride with us. We'll get you out of here. We'll get you a nice cup of coffee. We'll help you lay low, yeah?
And he is already heading back for the exit through the statue room.
All right. Norman, Addison, I think it's time we head back.
Well, what about the other rooms where you come from?
So there's the stairs heading down, and there's the room leading off just before the cell block. The door that leads off just before the cell block.
I say we got enough footage. We bring it to the cops just in case there's any more of these big guys. I don't want another round. Damn near cut my arm off.
It might be worth even seeing if we can put out some footage tonight, Norman. I can have another coffee, edit some stuff together. Maybe even just a trailer of sorts, so at least something is out there. Just in case we lose it.
Yeah.
Gunther's like holding his arm and it's like fucking dangling. And he just mutters to himself like...
So you have quite a deep cut on your forearm, although it doesn't impede your doing stuff. Hurts like hell.
He just goes, Tempest and Kara have better not drinking on my gin. There better be something left.
Something about what this chap Lysander said is bothering you, Gunther. And it's because you recognize the name.
Okay.
Alexandra Caldana.
Oh.
In particular, you recognize the last name. It's the Caldana family, which is one of the larger organized crime families, which has quite a substantial presence in Chicago.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. Okay. Caldana.
What she might be doing in London, you don't know yet.
Hell, I was getting a little homesick anyway. All right. We ready to wrap this up?
Yeah. So we're calling the cut, right? We do need to hide or
I think
bats or
maybe
something
our
like that.
first step should be heading back to Gunther's. But like you said, covering our tracks along the way. No one can know we've been here.
Yeah. She's right. So, let's start heading back. I'm gonna have to climb back up there, aren't I? This is gonna be every kind of unpleasant.
So there's a kind of a slope of rubble and some wooden boards that have been placed to make it marginally easier to get down. But it's a bit of a clamber to get back out of the hole, and you are able to. Overall, you've spent less than 5 minutes down there. So even if someone was alerted by the alarm, they won't have got there by then. If you move quickly, you'll avoid them.
Yeah, he's trying to hustle everybody up. Would you be so kind as to try for me? Lefts might be a little difficult, that's all I'm trying to say.
I'll do. Yeah.
So you're able to head back to Gunter's, and unless you say otherwise, I'll say that you guys head back into Gunter's to find Kara and Tempest having a surprisingly low-key cup of tea or coffee in the living room.
Just sitting on the couch chilling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, you got fucked up.
Mm-hmm. They all look pretty rattled, and Gunter definitely looks the worst for wear. And Norman has quite a lot of blood down his front as well.
Things got back to a certain normality. Is there more left in the kitchen at this point?
Yeah, you might want to have a shower first, but fair warning, it takes a while to warm up.
Are you just eating all Gunter's food?
Why do you know that it takes my shower to warm up?
Don't worry about it.
And why does it smell like fuck in my apartment?
Why does this place smell like ass?
What's that, cummies?
All right, I did not take.
Noir, you're the best. Kara will sort of get up and usher Gunter over to a chair and go, "Oh, just sit down, old man. Well, let's get that looked at." Does the trench coat come off, or is it attached to your spine?
Haha. And he takes off the trench coat and the dress shirt. And he's just in a tank top.
Yep.
Yeah, with a couple of rosaries.
Nice.
Kara will sit on the arm of the chair and bandage his arm and go,
So it's a deep cut, and ideally you'd get it sewn up, but you can deal with it with sutures and gauze.
This isn't my first rodeo. Just give me a second. He takes a swig of wine. And then he pours the gin on this one.
yeah.
Pirate medicine.
Did you know that you have disinfectant in your medicine cabinet, right?
Yes, but this is faster.
True. And Kara will put her hair up into a ponytail and dig through one of Tempest's bags to get her glasses. And Kara would like to try and sew the cut up, which is actually something that Kara has a fair bit of know-how to do.
Okay, so I won't make you roll for this because this isn't a serious injury. You're not stabilizing him or anything. But given your experience, I'll say that you make a very good job of suturing it and wrapping, cleaning it, suturing it, wrapping gauze around it. Still hurts, but it's not going to get worse. It's not going to give him too much trouble.
All right. Don't try and move anything too quickly. Leave all the heavy lifting to one of the others for a little bit, probably. Still
Like
with me,
Gunther's.
detective?
Gunther's well fucked up at this point. He's just like, the thing had teeth everywhere.
I think we could all maybe use a stiff drink.
Well, yes, and Kara will bandage it and pat Gunter on the shoulder and say, "Not allowed to die yet, detective. Not allowed to die yet."
Yeah, almost didn't make it. Norman pulled me out the fire. Wouldn't have thought the kid had it in him.
No, really. I would have thought. Sure.
Seems like we missed all the fun.
I would say we had our own.
It definitely smells like it. You made sure that Watson didn't see anything, right?
Oh yeah, we closed the door.
Yes, of course, we're not animals. Gunter.
Okay. Come here, Watson.
So, Addison and Norman, you've got. You think you took some footage of what happened and what was in there. What are you going to do with your footage?
Straight to the
Well,
laptop. Offload.
I think
Okay.
like Addison would have done that while like Norman would have just like take the shower, get out of the shower, and like kind of like shaking like his clothes to remove a bit of like the bit parts of it.
The shirt is a write-off.
Yeah.
You can't get that out. But you could probably find some. Gunter's not going to miss a t-shirt.
We could swing by the hotel motel that we were already staying at to get your other clothes. After all,
Drop into Prime Arnie.
Yeah, they still have like his apartment in London.
So Addison is on her laptop, and are you just looking through the footage and seeing what you've got?
yeah, she's going to offload it all onto an external hard drive. Organize it into folders and just footage dump. But if it is done fast enough, she will start clicking through a few clips, a few video moments, mostly towards the end there. Once we started attacking, and what could we see during that moment?
So you've got decent shot, especially of the statue room, with their 10 statues, one of which is placed kind of above the other with lots of heads. And you get some shaky but definitely very legible shots of both the bodies and of this fight with this enormous guy. And on tape, you can see this big guy, built like a, not ripped, but just massive and strong. Takes 3 bullets to the chest, tries to choke out Gunter and behead him, and is then stabbed by Norman, who leaps on him behind and just sinks the blade into it over and over again. You could blur the faces out, because this is evidence of quite a violent crime. Arguably self-defense, but definitely a violent act. It's easy enough for you to do that if you want to upload that and put that out there into the world. You think you can do a bit of a hack job on that and get it out in a couple of hours?
Tempest will be over Addie's shoulder and just sort of say, "Can I see those statues?"
Oh, yeah, of course. Here. And she'll just hand over the mouse to Tempest.
So Kara, what are you doing while they're working over this footage?
I think honestly, Kara won't be doing too much of anything. She'll probably just be like petting Gunter and
Petting Gunther now.
she'll be petting Watson and absentmindedly thinking about how she was supposed to be a doctor at one point in time.
So you glimpse some of the footage that's being scrolled through, and you see the cells with the bars mortared directly into the floor and the ceiling. And you remember being there. You remember being in one of those cells with your surgical scars fresh and stinging. A man in a surgical mask is standing outside the cell looking at you through the bars, demanding, "Reach out with your mind. Pierce the illusion. You can do it, Kara. Try harder. You're not trying." And as Kara gets this faraway look over her face, Addison and Tempest, you've put together, removing the faces and anything you think identifying, you've put together this footage of the place and the fight and the death.
Wow. It's all kind of starting to connect, huh?
Yeah. I don't know, those figures. The robes.
And the nature of the robed figure strikes a chord with you as well, Addison. The earlier memory you had of being in a group of robed people and ordering them to fight and then doing everything you say. Now you've got this edited highlights of the footage you took. What do you do with it?
I upload it to Norman's YouTube channel to be currently unlisted so that Norman can control when it goes public.
Yep.
But she will have done the whole thing, like the thumbnail that's like, we saw what in an like underground like jail cell, you know, and like like a little emoji with a shock face in a corner and like things like that.
Shot of Gunther's abs.
Yeah, you know, shot of Gunther's abs, like freaking like Norman with a stab like face, you know, the whole like shabam whoop, and then it will be like ghost or like releasing underground cultists serious in brackets, like it's all in caps, and then also another brackets emotional. Serious emotional releasing cultists.
I hate this.
So, Norman, do you want this video to go out there, or do you want to keep it secret for now?
I think Norman would have not put it online yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think he would have like wanted to get back to his apartment, grabbing some clothing, then like came back there and like checking what Addison have like finished with their work, basically.
Calmly get his affairs in order.
Yeah, because like this is like him taking the quick shower, getting back to his apartment when she's still editing. Then he's like doing his stuff like at home, grabbing clothes, getting back to Gunther's apartment, looking at like the final result and be like, yeah. I hope he blurred everyone. This is big stuff. Even like if the people stinking visual effects or anything like that.
So, are you heading back to your flat now, Norman?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you can head back, and where are the rest of you going to stay where you are?
Ara is going to step outside.
Okay.
And smoke a cigarette or three.
Mm-hmm.
And will just look at her dad's name in her phone. And she'll just lock her phone and smoke.
So, Norman, you head back to your flat, and you see that hanging around outside is the young man you saw outside the coffee shop earlier that day. And this time he's just staring at you openly. And he's near the door to the building where your flat is.
Did he like? I guess he saw me, so I was just like,
Yep.
Is there like anyone else around? Just like,
Just him.
I'm just going to yell at him like, what do you want to me?
What do you think I want? He replies.
I don't know. You've been following me everywhere. So
We know what you did, Norman. We know they won't be able to prove it was you, but we know. one day, when you least expect it, Max will get justice.
Who's Max?
And he turns around and walks away down the street.
Was it someone at the museum or something?
You know the name from somewhere. It's from somewhere, some time before that.
Like, now that he left, I guess I can safely get back to my place and
Yep.
Grabbing some clothes and trying to find like my archives, like if I like some paper for like someone named Max or like something like that. I can, like,
As you're leafing through them, you remember a time when someone was showing you notes just like this. And it's a young man named Max to whom you used to be very close. And he's got a folder of documents that he's collected, printouts and notes he's written, and there's a sketch of the bloody hand symbol. And he says to you, look, this neo-stoical thing is just a front. It's a classic cult. Their belief system is about obedience, complete submission. Look, there are hardly any survivors who left it, but they all say the same thing. They break them down until they have no will of their own. God knows how many of them have just disappeared. Look, this is big, Norman. This is the one. Then you see a drop of blood running down the side of his face, and you notice the small round hole in Max's temple. And then this vision, this memory, fades away, and you're sitting on your own in your flat.
Well, Norman would get like a glass of like alcohol and just think about like what, just like kind of remember taking a sip.
Mm-hmm.
And bringing like his paper back into like a folder so he can bring them to the groups.
There is an alert that someone has left a comment on the video that just went up on your YouTube channel, although you haven't made that video public yet.
You want to take a quick look?
And Addison, you noticed this as well. So, Addison, there is a comment on the video you uploaded, even though it hasn't been made public yet. And Norman has seen the alert as well. And the comment is a link.
Addison is going to not click on the link yet.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, she will ask Gunther about maybe securing an access to the dark web that's secure in order to look into this link.
So yeah, there are ways that you can look into it without anyone knowing which IP address you're from,
or
and that
using
sort
a
of thing.
VPN
That
and
can be
things
done.
like that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different ways. You guys probably know more than me. Norman, the comment on your video that definitely shouldn't be there is a link.
I'm
What do you
clicking
do?
on it.
So, Addison and Norman, and we'll say Gunther as well, you're both able to watch this, to look to see what's on this link, and it's a link to a video that's hosted somewhere in God knows the depths of the web somewhere. It begins with a black and white film of a group of robed and hooded people in a nondescript concrete room. A figure in a dark robe is shouting orders. Sit down, stand up, kneel, turn around, bow your heads. And these robed people obey without pause. Then his distorted sounding voice begins demanding they punch themselves or strike their heads against the wall or throw themselves violently to the floor. And they do it. Then they are ordered to each break one of their own fingers. They do so, rendered visibly unsteady to the sounds of snapping bone and gasps of pain. One of them holds up his finger, takes it in one hand, and can't do it. Without an order, the other figures turn to them and dive on them, tearing off the person's robe to reveal a naked human beneath. Blood, black in the monochrome image, spatters onto the walls and floor as the figure is punched and kicked. Skin tears and their torso is ripped open, spilling a torrent of entrails. The figure is dismembered by the others until their limbs have been torn from their torso and their neck gnawed away until their head comes loose. And all the while, the dark-robed figure is chanting in a deep drone, "Obey, obey, obey." And as you try to absorb the import of what you've just seen and how it links not only to your investigations so far, but the things which are being dredged up from your own memories, we're going to call an end to the session.
Congrats for this.
Well, that was an intense ending.
Thank you very much for playing, and I hope you all had fun.
I thought Gunther was finna die.
Dude,
You
seriously?
100% could have done, yes.
I feel like you were
was
like
like-
these. If Norman and Addison had like ran for it instead of coming back, I feel like that would have been by
That was
Gunther. Oh my lordy. Oh, but okay. We'll go around the other way this time. We'll go down clockwise so that we can tell everybody a little bit about where you can find us on this wonderful world of the wide web. That was a great episode, Ben. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I am They Call Him Ben on Twitch. You will find me in chat making off-color comments, which go tastefully ignored by most. I am at Ben Counter, like a shop counter, on Twitter, and I am Ben.Counter on Instagram. I need to post more miniature pictures. I believe the Kickstarter for the source book for Carbon 2185 is still going, which I wrote the adventure for the game. It's a 5th edition based cyberpunk role-playing game based, it's based on the 5th edition D&D rules, so you probably already know how to play it. It's written by Robert Mariner Dodds, and I wrote some bits of the core book, but mostly a big adventure with like loads of like sentient robots and AIs and all kinds of cool stuff. I think that Kickstarter is still going, and also the novella. If you're a Warhammer 40k fan, the novella Traitor by Deed is out later this month by me, and I think that is all of my stuff.
Thank you so much, Ben. And of course, Kara, played by the wonderful Dee. Oh, Kara had such wonderful roles throughout this evening of like mentor in so many different kinds of ways, as well as lover. Darling.
Darling. Hi, I'm Dee, or Devel, whatever so suits you. I am a streamer, voice actor, musician, professional DM with the Emerald City Gaming Guild, and I play Julian in Woodsy Studios' Crimson Spires, which is available now on Steam. It is a mystery visual novel where you can date a bunch of people, and I'm one of those people that you can date. Most pressingly, I would say, next Tuesday, or starting, let's go in proper order, shall we? On Sunday, I am going to be on the Critical Misses channel playing the 3rd issue of Second City Saviors, which is going to be an absolute blast with my lovely storyteller and another castmate here on this show with me. On Tuesdays, I'm going to be on Encounter Roleplay, where we're going to play Boston Besieged, which is a Zweihander Flames of Freedom campaign expansion. And on Wednesdays, I'm going to be on Critical Misses again, where I will be taking the DM chair to run Under a Pale Cold Sun, a chronicle in a Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition series. So those are all the things that I do and all the places that I am, and I also stream periodically. I don't know when. Just follow me on Twitter, I guess. This is a blast, and I love playing Kara. It's great.
I am so happy to be role-playing with you once again, Dee. And same for Anita as well. It's so good to be, like, role-playing with you once more.
Oh, thank you. Hi, I'm Anita or Panita or Critical Misses. You can find me everywhere online under Panita or Critical Misses. I am a TTRPG streamer, which means that I pretend to be people on the internet for fun. Yes, Dee did a fantastic job of plugging things that are on my channel. So you can find me there most times. Friday nights we do System Shock. We go through a TTRPG with no prep and no clue how to play it, just to show people how easy it is to play. On Saturdays, you can catch me and Noir on Morning Ritual, which is our TTRPG talk show. This Saturday, our guest is Anna or Nymeria from Encounter Roleplay and other things as well. She's wonderful. We're excited to talk to her.
I love Anna so much.
Anna's so nice. She's the sweetest. Sundays, you can catch me on Second City Saviors on my channel as well. And yeah, Tuesdays you can find me back here. Again, Wednesdays, our new show, Under the Pale Cold Sun, is coming out very soon. We're going to be doing Session Zeros tomorrow and talking through making kind of spooky, kind of sexy vampires. So we're excited. And that's me.
Thank you so much, Anita. I greatly, greatly appreciate you being back here. And again, getting to roleplay with you once more is so lovely. And Derek, I clearly can't get enough of, like, playing TTRPGs with you, so let us know who you are. Derek was in my previous TTRPG stream game here on my channel, for anybody who doesn't know. So yeah, Derek, who the heck are you? What do you do?
I'm Derek, also known as UTTV32. I'm playing the character Norman. I was playing two characters in the old streamed game that we had here, probably known as Jake and Cyrus. Otherwise, out of that, I'm a video game developer. Worked on Assassin's Creed that is releasing next week. If you want to see more of my stuff, look at the cinematics. That's pretty much it for me, so I'm going to pass it back to Alex.
All right, and the person who I have never gotten to play a game with yet, who is brand new, but we had one voice call of gameplay together prior to this where I was just like, yeah, everybody has said, like, you will love Noir Enigma. Boom. It was true. Instantly. Loved him.
Who spread these lies?
Yeah, probably like Anita and Dee and, Ray. Like, probably, a whole bunch of people just saying, oh, and Jay, of course, saying wonderfully, horribly great things about you. Horribly great.
I'll take it. Okay, everybody. I'm Noir. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch as the Noir Enigma. I actually have my schedule pinned now, so you can just go to my tweet and see where I'm gonna be because I don't sleep. Tomorrow you can catch me in a mystery project where I don't know yet with who. That's listed. What time? Not quite sure. So check out my Twitter because something's gonna happen, or maybe nothing. Who knows? Off to a great start. Friday we've got Bloody Portrait over on Chromatic Chimera. That's at 7 p.m. Central. Saturday I've got Morning Ritual with Critical Misses, the lovely Anita. You've already told them the guests and everything, so I'm just gonna move on. Sunday we've got Dungeons and Deep Dish, time pending. Then we've got Second City Saviors at a special time, 2 p.m. Central this go around. And I do have to say that if you enjoy Second City Saviors at all, I highly recommend checking out this episode. I've got some fun stuff in store for folks. and if you saw the Halloween Spooktacular one-shot tear in the Second City, you might have a hint at what some of the stuff the Saviors are gonna have to deal with might be. One of those things might involve one person in particular that might be in this cast right now. And then after that, Sunday evening, I'll be over on Action Fiction for their Vampire the Masquerade game, Drain the Rich, where we drink billionaires. So, you know, that's fun. That's me.
Oh, honestly, fam, everybody here does such unique styles of content that just also works so wonderfully together as like an amalgamation of like great things. So thank you so much. My name is Madame Gandalf. Yeah, and Alex, I guess. So yeah, hi, I'm Madame Gandalf. I do a whole variety of magical things here on the internet, including singing, cooking, TTRPGs, fantasy games, role-playing games, a variety of those things. Fantasy is my big pleasure. My Green Dragon Tavern is my pleasure. And I hope to catch you all next week for more Cult Fears. And each week, Ben keeps preparing us all of like, so I just need you all to know that it's okay if you need to prepare a new character for next week.
I might have to have one or two squirreled away just in case.
So, yeah, we may end up having to do that. But for now, Cult is over, but we're going to continue the stream, fam, because things are stressful today, and I have many spoons to give being in a country that is far away from it all. So, we're going to end Cult. We're going to go on a little break. But we'll see you next week for more Cult shenanigans. But for now, we'll see you later. Thank you so much, fam, and we'll see you in a bit.